So a couple of people have asked me how they check the oil in their car. Now, it's a very simple process. It's something we totally take for granted when you've been doing it a while. But if you're a newbie, it's your first car, and looking over the engine, you haven't really got a clue, this is the video to you. So it's going to show you how to check the oil and the things that you should be looking for. And it's not just the oil level that you should be watching out for. So we have to note that some modern cars are different. Everything's now done in a computer. So to get the oil level, you need to go into the computer system on the car. But most drivers asking this question have an older car. They're working to a budget. So this should apply to most people watching this video. So if you open up the engine bay and just have a look around, you should see on one side of the engine a dipstick. It's usually yellow or brightly coloured. It's got a little loop or a little thing for you to hold on to, and effectively it just goes into a tube. Now that tube takes this dipstick down into the sump. So pulling that out, we have access now to the oil level in the sump. You'll notice on the bottom of the dipstick are some markings, a max and a min level, but the first time you pull it out, the oil is going to be all over that. So you need to clean that oil off, replace the dipstick, and then pull the dipstick out. So obviously, because you're now going into the sump and it's going to give you the oil level from the sump, you need to make sure that the car is level. So most people will check the oil when the oil is warm, but it can also be checked when it's cold. If you've just been running the engine, you do need to allow a little bit of time for the oil to fall back into the sump. You'll often get a much lower reading, particularly if your car has stop start, if you've only just shut the engine off, because a lot of the oil is still inside the engine rather than running down to the sump. So for that reason, a lot of people prefer to take a cold reading of the oil level in their car. So looking at the dipstick, you now know how much oil is in there. You want to be somewhere between the max and the min levels. Most people aim to be around about the max level. If you're a little bit over that, don't worry too much. I've done other videos that discuss what happens if you're significantly over. That's certainly something you want to avoid in most engines. And also, if you're too low, you need to investigate why that oil is low. Why is the oil being consumed by the engine? But the thing you should also be looking out for when you check this is the colour of the oil. Is the oil still relatively clear, or is it very black? Now, if you have a diesel engine, the oil is going to become black very, very quickly. I've heard of people complaining to garages for not changing the oil because they have a diesel and all of the soot and everything inside the engine has contaminated the oil and it looks quite black. But if you've got a gasoline or petrol powered car, as we call it here in the UK, the oil should stay relatively clear for a long period of time. If that colour is starting to go off or it's starting to collect debris, then that's a sign that you probably need to replace the oil. You can go to the levels of sending it off for analysis and finding out a bit more about what's going on in your engine. So if you're interested in the more complex aspects of analysing your engine oil, check out the other videos that we've got on the channel. Thanks for watching. Please boot the like button. That really does help us to get out there. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I've lined this video up and this playlist up that you should find really interesting. Thanks for watching. See you in these next videos.